to help. Yeah. Frank Casser is an expert on the latest ground penetrating radar technology.
Let's go. Yeah.
Cutting edge GPR that works at
Have you guys watched the Sixers game tonight?
the ground.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Me too, Basil. I got the game on my TV too, downstairs in the basement.
Nice.
This can actually
It's a good one.
I didn't. Let me guess. Embiid isn't playing.
No, he's not. He played last night.
AD skin. Okay. Parallel.
Backpack.
This is the first time in Hoska's history.
Basil, you want to start the show off?
Yeah, sure.
Legend of the gateway to hell.
Ready?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Rockin' with Rahul and the Three Amigos.
That I got last night on the 10th.
I'm Basil, and we're here with Jeff and Zach, our two guests for today. How you guys doing? Jeff? How you doing, Zach?
Can't complain. It's a lovely evening. Anticipating all the snow that's going to hit us tomorrow, so we'll see.
There's tomorrow. I didn't even know.
The Nazis had a network of depositories.
How much snow?
They're talking a few inches, but the concern is more freezing rain and stuff like that. So it's going to be slippery out there.
Yeah. Hi, Jeff
home.
and Zach. I'm Will. It's nice to meet you both.
Pleasure to meet you, Will.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you guys. I know Rahul from a while ago.
Somebody's
As
got their
do I.
TV on in the background. I think it's you, Will.
Natural forces.
Yeah.
This
Can
fascinating.
someone turn their TV off?
Quick question. Am I the only non-Philadelphia fan in here?
It depends on the
Yeah.
sport, Jeff. Depends on the sport.
Jeff is a Mets fan. He's a
Oh.
Mets fan.
Yeah, can you tell the colors I got? I got my Mets colors in the background because after this Sunday, it's baseball season.
That it is. Pitchers and catchers reporting.
That's right.
Let's go, birds.
Someone experience.
When
I
I
still hear
when I
someone's
left,
TV
when
playing
I-
in the background. Rahul, is it yours?
no, it was Williams.
I just
I don't hear it anymore, so we're good.
I just turned the TV down.
Thank you.
When I left work, when I left work, I work for PennDOT. They my supervisor said we all have off tomorrow because of the snow and rain.
Mm.
So usually during snowstorms and all, PennDOT is always open, but tomorrow we have off. So
Oh, nice. You're off tomorrow.
yeah, and Tuesday and Saturdays is always busy at PennDOT because people want to come for real ID and all.
Got you.
Right.
Got you.
Jeff and Zach, can you introduce yourself to the listeners and what you guys do?
Sure. So I'm Zach. I am a teacher at Reading School District. I worked with Rahul for several years when I was a para for North Penn School District. I'm a big Phillies fan. Football is a little bit different, so don't judge me. I'm a Steelers fan. And I also really do enjoy the Flyers. So
My name's Jeff. I'm a filmmaker. I work in marketing. I've done some podcasts in the past. The Ever Evolving Truth and Pookie in Paradise are the two main ones. I am a sports fanatic. Baseball is my first love. I think Rahul mentioned it. I'm a Mets fan, diehard Mets fan. And as far as football goes, I'm a Washington Commanders fan. I will openly admit that I do not watch basketball until the playoffs. I feel like the NBA is unwatchable this day and age until the playoffs, and even the first couple rounds of the playoffs are just horrific. So my expertise lies in baseball and football. I can go toe to toe with anyone.
Nice. I'm right with you on that.
Very good.
What do you do before you were marketing? What do you do before?
Oh, Rahul, I did lots of things. You know me from the bank, right?
Yeah, I know you from the bank. Yeah.
I tested the waters in real estate for 5 years. I sold timeshare originally. Not really proud of that, but I was young. It was good living to be made there. But my passion's always been in the creative arts, visual arts, TV, media, film. I've always wanted to be a director. So all roads led to where I'm at now.
Zach, after North Penn, where did you get teaching job at?
So I'm in Reading School District in Reading, Pennsylvania now.
Yeah.
It's an inner city school, but I really enjoy what I do. This is my 3rd year there. So yeah, it's been a great experience. I get to teach history, which is my passion in life. I love learning about old stuff and trying to instill some critical thinking in today's youth.
What grade are you teaching?
I teach high school, so I teach 9th through 12th grade.
Yeah. What history are you teaching?
Right now, the class I'm teaching is called Hispanic American History. The population of Reading is predominantly Latino. So it's really neat to be able to dive deep and look at the history from the perspective of the New World and then the colonization and stuff like that. So
you're in my neck of the woods, Zach. I'm right in Warnersville.
Okay, I'm in Pottstown.
Okay.
Since you teach at Reading, do you go to some Reading Phillies games since the Reading Phillies are close by?
Absolutely, Rahul. That is my summer night dream. That's what I do. I go out there, talk with the bullpens, and have a good time.
Yeah.
That's good. Hey, Rahul.
Yeah.
I have to go, man.
All right, Charlie.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, but I have to go.
You're good.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Hope everything's all right.
All right.
Charlie, what happened? What's going on?
Nothing. Everything's fine. I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much.
All right.
Basil, William, you have any question for the guest?
Hey Jeff, how long did you do the podcast?
I did it for a few years. It's hard to remember. It started back in 2018, I believe, with a show called Pookie in Paradise. I was always wanted to kind of get some friends together and just make each other laugh, and that's what it was. And going back and listening to the early episodes, it's really awkward and embarrassing. But towards the end, I was really proud of what we were putting out. So. Looking at bringing it back with a new lineup here in the next few months. We actually just had our first production meeting last week, and the ever-evolving truth. Like I said, we busted a local woman for faking cancer, and the interesting part about that show was that everything was happening real time. And when we did our final show, our finale, she got arrested just before that. So there was an ongoing investigation with the police, and we did some more seasons after that, and then I was in college in Florida, so I couldn't really be present here, and COVID was going on, so it turned into like a political roundtable show, and that's kind of where it sits now. So,
what is Pookie Paradise about?
Just a bunch of friends getting together, making each other laugh. We did some bits. We would read comments from Amazon products and try to guess what they were. I would write a letter to Christina Ricci every episode towards the end. We called Conan O'Brien. Conan O'Brien has his own podcast, and he has a number and a voicemail set up. So we tried to get on his show. So I left him a message every week. So we had a lot of fun things that we did, and we're looking at bringing some of that back and refining it and adding some new stuff. Really excited about it.
Well, that's awesome. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Since baseball is coming up in a couple of weeks, what are you guys looking forward to in baseball? Jeff, I know you must be excited about Juan Soto.
I got something for you right here.
Is that New Jersey?
Yes. My son got it for me. I got us tickets to second game of the season, and he got me the jersey.
When are you
for
going to
Christmas.
that?
Awesome.
I forget when their home openers. They start off 3 games on the road, I believe, and so it's April 5th and 6th, I believe, or 5th or 6th. So what I'm excited for is I've been a Mets fan since I can remember. I was born in '82, so I was 4 years old the last time they won the World Series, and I wasn't really old enough to remember that. But my first memory as a kid is going to Shea Stadium, and just being a part of that atmosphere. I fell in love with baseball, and I've been a suffering Mets fan ever since, and they've been terrible most of the time. But I feel like with the new ownership, Mendoza is the coach, David Stearns is a GM who has this, an endless checkbook, but comes from a small market team and makes solid choices. And I'm excited for what the Mets are and what the future of them is.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for them to destroy the Phillies and the Braves this year too during the regular season, not just.
Oh, what? Oh, well, I'm
I
actually.
think the Phillies have a couple moves.
Yeah,
left,
well, we're all Phillies fans here.
Well, yeah, that is definitely the case. I'll be happy to see the Mets finish in second in the division.
It's a good division. Hey, the Braves are still, I mean, the top of the class. Phil's. How can you not love their lineup? Their lineup is built to represent the city and the blue collar history of Philadelphia. Bryce Harper was maybe one of the best free agent signings specifically for Philadelphia. I don't know if he's the same player in a different city. So you got to respect what the Phillies built there.
Oh, absolutely. And I will never downplay what the Mets have done. It's not easy making it to the World Series, being the hot hand going through the months of September and October. I get it. We hit a buzzsaw there, last year. It is what it is. We, rub some dirt on the wound and we move on. But, looking at the offseason for the Phillies, it wasn't as electric as the Mets. Signing Juan Soto is amazing. Not going to lie. Mediocre right fielder, but that bat, it's hard to argue with. But I'm looking at our starting rotation, getting Jesus Luzardo. That is ridiculously good value for a 4 or 5 when you have Wheeler, Nola, Sanchez, Suarez, everybody lining up in front of that. And then to kind of shore up the bullpen a little bit on a couple 1-year deals. Max Kepler, solid lefty bench hitter. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm a little concerned with the bullpen, but as a Phillies fan, you're always concerned with the bullpen.
I think as a baseball fan, you're always concerned with the bullpen, the way things are, and how fragile arms are. You need about 26 arms that can pitch out of the bullpen throughout the year.
Truthfully, yeah. You're not going to see the guy that throws 80, 90 innings out of the bullpen anymore.
No, it doesn't work.
I think the Phillies should follow in the Eagles mindset. Eagles been to the Super Bowl in 2 years ago, and now they're back in the Super Bowl. I think Philly should follow that same mindset.
Yeah, and same with Sixers and Flyers.
In an ideal situation, gentlemen, I would agree with you. But when we're talking about a slog of a season of 162 games plus the postseason, 17 regular season games is a lot different than 162. I applaud the Eagles for getting as far as they did. It hurts me as a Steelers fan. I was down at that Steelers-Eagles game. It was cold as all get out, but, they came to play. And, Saquon is a beast right now. It's hard to argue with the talent that he has. I remember watching him at Penn State. The dude was amazing, and all he needed was a good offensive line in front of him. So I'm rooting for him.
He should be the MVP. No doubt about it.
No, hands down.
Tired of seeing quarterbacks win it just because they're quarterbacks. You take him off the Eagles, they're not even. They're a playoff team, but they're not going very far.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't. They probably wouldn't have made anywhere near the amount of noise against the Commanders as they did, putting up a 55 spot.
Yeah.
I think the SPs are tomorrow, so we'll see who wins Offensive Player of the Year and MVP and all tomorrow.
I mean, it's either going to be Allen or Lamar for MVP, but I think Barkley wins Offensive Player of the Year. They have to give him something. I mean, running back has been disrespected. That position has been disrespected for the past 20 years now, mainly since Adrian Peterson. You know, he was I guess Zeke signed a big deal, but since then it's been crickets and a lot of talent out there. They deserve a little bit of a comeback. So good for Barkley, good for Henry, ushering that in.
I mean, as far as I know, Josh Allen lost in the second round of the playoffs. I don't think he deserves it.
That's a regular season award, though, right? That's what they say.
Yeah, it is.
If that was the case, then Mahomes would win it. Mahomes would win it every year. So, just because he, constantly is making it to the Super Bowl and all that jazz, going for a repeat.
Yeah.
But
I'd give it to someone new after a while. But...
Yeah.
And Allen didn't play bad in that game. That's the thing here. He played well enough to win. It's just when you run into, I'm going to call it right here. I respect everything Belichick did, but the greatest coach in the history of the American or the National Football League is Andy Reid. When you run into that every year, I mean, you can't really fault the guy for losing.
I know. Well, you got to beat it to deserve MVP, in my opinion. You got to make it to the Super Bowl at least once.
That's that's a fair. I wouldn't disagree with you. It's just the experts, the professionals say that it's a regular season award, so you're supposed to take the postseason.
He probably will.
I agree.
He probably will win
it.
I just don't think he deserves it.
Yeah.
Just to bounce off that, I would say that if we're arguing Hall of Fame, then you got to make it to at least a Super Bowl or two to really cement your name. I mean, there are exceptions to the rules, like like Dan Marino and all them, but
Jim Kelly, he made it to his 4 Super Bowls, but didn't win one.
Exactly, that's what I meant. But to finish the game off. But no, he'll get his time. He'll get his time. He's got too much talent. Look what he did with losing, Stephon Diggs and all that up there in Buffalo.
Yeah, that is true.
Who do you think your Steelers? What do you think the Steelers should do as quarterback?
Oh God, in my opinion, it's kind of a lose-lose either way. Russell Wilson, towards the end of the season, he just did not come to play. Making bad choices, airing the ball out, lofting it a little too much, letting it stay up in the air too long. And then the opposite side of that coin is Justin Fields, where he wants to throw it like it's a laser beam to anybody and everybody, where he doesn't have that finesse. So for me, the safer choice would be the veteran in Russell Wilson, but the amount of money that's going to command, I wouldn't want him on the team. Fields would be my preference because of the athleticism, but we're just going to stick at a 10-7, 11-6 team, for years to come if they don't, make the changes that they need to make.
Do you think they should draft a quarterback in the draft?
They're too far down in the first round, and the draft capital they'd have to give up to even move up in the draft this year to possibly go about doing that's not the Steeler way. The Steelers don't do that. It's very rare that they have a high enough draft pick where, like, Roethlisberger was the last guy they drafted in the top 10, and that was 2004. So to say to trade up from I think they're in the 20s. I couldn't tell you exactly where they posted up, but they're somewhere in the 20s. They would have to give up an arm and a leg, and I just don't see Omar Khan doing that.
Also, who's there that you want to give up that much? I mean, Shedeur Sanders is a huge talent, but not. What do you think he would go last year? Looking back on the amount of quarterbacks that had good rookie years, if not great rookie years, Shedeur Sanders is 6, 7, maybe.
Yeah, I would definitely plop him down there, definitely behind Daniels and all them. It's just not there, and that's typical Steeler fashion where they just they lay an egg. I mean, it looked great on paper, getting Fields for basically nothing and then signing Wilson for league minimum because, Denver's paying basically the entire contract. And it made them look good. They went 10-7. Honestly, they probably should have been closer to 12-5, but
They looked amazing until 2 weeks before the Eagles game.
They looked good all the way up to that point, and then they hit the buzzsaw of the Eagles, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and those last 4 games, that was the most painful thing to watch.
Yeah, I don't think they're any good anymore after that.
It's the Steelers. It's the AFC North. They've got Najee. They got to re-sign Najee. They got a solid offensive line, good wide receiving core, and their defense is still top 5.
Yeah, defense is great.
If Mike Tomlin doesn't make it to the playoff this year, do you think they should change the head coach position? Or
No. Nah, to me, the Steelers don't do that. That's not in their track record. You know, you look at, I've been a fan since 2002, 2003. But if you go all the way back to the 1970s, they've had Chuck Noll, then they had Bill Cowher. Now they have Mike Tomlin. That's literally it. And Tomlin is a great coach. Your problem is you stick a crappy offensive coordinator with them. You're going to have problems like ever since they lost, Bruce Arians, many moons ago, that it's just been kind of a sliding downhill. Defenses always look good because Tomlin's a defensive-minded coach. So for me, you need all the pieces to fall in place.
Look, I mean, I'll point to the Eagles getting rid of Reed. You don't find good coaches don't grow on trees, right?
Mm-mm.
And the Eagles have had some success since Reed, but I mean, you run a guy out of town who gets to 4 championship games in a Super Bowl with a mediocre quarterback. You should have kept that guy.
Yeah. It shows you why you get rid of the guy, though, because he wouldn't have got the Super Bowl, most likely.
I think a Reed eventually gets one no matter where he is.
Yeah.
Truth.
I mean, look what he did with Alex Smith. Now, he didn't get over the hump with Alex Smith, but Reed also is, 9 other teams passed on Patrick Mahomes. Didn't he go 10 to the Chiefs that year, or was it even lower? It might have been 20. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
I'm not 100% sure.
But he was the Chiefs were the only team to have a first round grade on Patrick Mahomes. Right.
Yeah.
So he's got an eye for talent, look at the running backs that Reed's system made fantastic, right? Those running backs would not be who they were without Andy Reid's system and the early screen game that he ran with Donovan McNabb. I mean, it revolutionized offenses.
Yeah. No, it did.
Helps when you have Westbrook too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Westbrook was great talent, but do you put Westbrook on another team with a different coach? I don't know if they know how to use him to the best of his ability, where Reed tailors his offense to the strengths of the players that he has.
If Andy
he
Reid
looks
can
for a
win the
specific
Super
player.
Bowl, then I'll give him greatest coach in history for all time.
That's fair. 3 in a row. I mean, never been done before. Not in the modern Super Bowl era.
No, it's been a hot minute since before the 60s.
Yeah. And there were 16 teams?
Eagles have 5 NFC championships, right, Rahul?
Yeah.
Rahul, did you know they won their first NFC championship back in 1980 against the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rahul, did you ever watch a replay of that game on YouTube before?
No, I didn't watch the replay of that game.
I saw a replay of when the Eagles played the Raiders in the Super Bowl back in 1981, when the first time they made the Super Bowl. I saw that.
Yeah.
Did you see that one yet, Rahul?
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, but they lost.
I saw replays of that.
Yeah. That's what I was asking. You see replays of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basil, do you remember when we watched it at my house, Basil, a replay of it?
The Eagles-Rams game?
Yeah, the Eagles Raiders game after everybody left that Sunday, and we watched it on YouTube on my TV.
I forget, honestly. I completely forget.
After Andy Reid left the Eagles, Chip Kelly was okay coach, but he didn't take the Eagles to he didn't win playoff game with the Eagles, and plus he got rid of some of the best players we had, like LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson. I didn't like Chip Kelly as a coach. Doug Peterson won us the Super Bowl, so I was happy about.
And then
that.
he ran him out of town too.
Exactly.
I just hope that Nick Sirianni can win us the Super Bowl.
Hopefully. This is probably his last chance.
Yeah, Jake Elliott, man, that's the only thing I'm worried about. Chicken.
I want you to let that sink in, what you just said, Basil. Like, if they're going to run him out of town after making it to the Super Bowl and, making noise, 2 years ago, right?
Yeah. Oh, I
So,
wouldn't
like,
run him out of town. I'm just thinking maybe it's kind of hard to make it to a Super Bowl. So I don't think he'll ever make it ever again. I don't think Hurts will. I don't think the Eagles will.
that team is way too talented.
If they win this Super Bowl, I do not think any of those guys on the team will be back to another Super Bowl.
Wow,
that's interesting. I mean, his history tells us that you're right. Especially losing teams. I forget what the actual fact is, but it's like losing quarterbacks and coaches in the Super Bowl, like never make it back with another team.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. That'd be great, but I hope we win it so we can. I kind of hope we lose it at the same time so we can be back. But no, I hope we win it, and then that's it. That's good for me for the next couple of years.
We gotta just pray. All we gotta do is Sunday pray for Eagles to hopefully pull it off in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I want to win it here.
Super Bowl.
Hopefully Jesus is an Eagles fan, right?
Like I say, it's an Eagles Super Bowl week.
What are your thoughts on Sirianni as a coach? I hear mixed reviews. I understand that the guy's not the most likable person at all times. Rumors that play calling has been taken away from him several times because he insists on passing the ball when they have the best running back in the league. What are your thoughts on Sirianni? Do you guys like him as a coach? You can't argue with his record, right? He's one of the most winningest coaches in NFL history as of right now.
Yeah.
I think out of all the Eagles coach, I put Andy Reid first, and then I put Nick Sirianni second.
That high.
Okay. Over Buddy Ryan?
I was going to say over Buddy.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I've actually put Doug Peterson first, and Andy Reid second, and Nick
there you go. Well, and then nobody else.
Yeah, but the other coaches were before our time anyway.
Exactly.
They were before our time, so we don't know much about them.
That's true. You guys, I forget that you guys are a little too young for Buddy Ryan. Those were the days, man.
Yeah, we're old.
Who's Buddy Ryan? Who's Buddy Ryan?
Dad of Rex Ryan. You know who Rex Ryan is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's another defensive Ryan in the league, or was. He was a longtime defensive coordinator for the Raiders and Saints.
I think Rob Ryan.
Yeah, might be that.
But how many overall winnings does Buddy Ryan have?
Buddy Ryan doesn't have a Super Bowl win, but back in the day when the NFL defense won championships, he had some of the best defenses you will ever see. He was a brilliant defensive mind, and they couldn't get over the hump. He had Randall Cunningham as his quarterback for most of his tenure. So it was like when Randall was a great quarterback, but for some reason he just could not get that chip.
I've heard of him.
Buddy or Randall? I hope you heard of Randall. You're watching those highlights. Watching those highlights, Will. You got to go watch.
Was it Randall Cunningham was quarterback before Donovan McNabb, right? Was he?
Yeah.
So yeah,
there was a couple of quarterbacks in between. He eventually left the Eagles, went to the Vikings for a while. Go watch some Randall Cunningham highlights, and you'll see where Michael Vick got his inspiration.
Exactly. That dude just scrambled, then he could bomb it for 70 yards if he wanted to. He was a beast. Monster
of an arm.
Out of all the stadiums you guys been to, what is your most favorite baseball stadium and football stadium you guys been to?
Well, I've been lucky enough to visit the two what I consider meccas of baseball, Wrigley Field and Fenway Park. Both of them surreal. Both of them you walk in and you literally feel baseball history. Fenway was really cool because they do a stadium tour before every game, and they take you around the stadium, they take you on the field, and then they take you up to the Monster during batting practice, and these guys are just hitting balls over your head, which is just awesome. Wrigley is a cool atmosphere because literally the north side of Chicago shuts down for every single Cubs game, and it's just one big party. They love their Cubbies there, so it was really cool to experience that. A lot of cool baseball stadiums. To be honest, I'm of the mindset I prefer to watch football at home. Unless it's early in the year when it's still warm, I have no desire to be out in the cold. I've been to the Link, cool stadium. I've been to FedEx Field. The place is a dump. Can't wait for the new Washington Stadium so I can check that out.
I do like the location of the Washington Stadium, though. It's on top of that kind of like hill. It's just parking lots surrounding the stadium.
Yeah, and if you're coming from somewhere other than DC, it's very convenient. But Washington is supposed to be, the DC team. It's supposed to represent the DC population, and I know that the majority of the fans want the new stadium to be on the RFK site, the old RFK stadium site. So I think, as far as like a vibe and a feeling go, I hope that it ends up back there where it's truly their home. But yeah, I agree with you. Driving from Pennsylvania, it's much easier to get to FedEx Field in Landover than it is, Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
To bounce off what Jeff said, like, I've been to a multitude of baseball stadiums, and I have visited both the meccas that he experienced as well, Fenway and Wrigley. Been to Camden Yards, obviously, Citizens Bank, been up to Citi Field, been down to National Park and stuff like that. I will say there's nothing like Fenway. Like, Chicago has an aura of its own. It does, getting off walking Addison is really cool, but walking Lansdowne Street, and then they close down the street so you can wander around, and just seeing the Green Monster and being able to go over and touch it, that's probably one of my core memories going forward. I've been there multiple times, and I will always go back. I like, for my American League team, I would say I do like the Red Sox. I do enjoy them. Their attitude, it's very gritty, a lot like Philadelphia. So I will say Fenway is probably my go-to. And I'm a lot like Jeff too. Like, when it comes to football, like, I prefer to chill at home. It is cold. It's not worth it. I do plan on getting to Heinz Field, because I'm not calling it Acrisure Stadium. It's not. It's Heinz Field. It'll always be Heinz Field. And I'd like to get there to a game at some point. I've walked by it over the bridge and stuff like that. It looks beautiful. Been to the Link. The Link's nice. Atmosphere's nice. Fan base is the fan base. When I'm wearing my black and gold, they gave me a little bit of crap, but that's okay. I expected it. That being said, yeah, Fenway will always hold a special place in my heart.
I like to check out SoFi at some point. Dodger Stadium too.
Yes.
And the new stadium in Las Vegas. I don't know what they call it, but I would imagine that has to be quite the sight.
It's not as great as it seems.
No, have you been there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I've been to
SoFi first then.
I've been to Citi Field. I've been to Orioles Stadium, and I go to the Citizen Bank when Phillies play.
There's something about baseball stadiums, right? I mean, football stadiums, they have their own thing, and yeah, but there's something about, they have their own food, they have their own personality, their own, like, it's like a member of the team, if you will, and it's just, there's something iconic about visiting a baseball stadium.
Do you guys always get like cheesesteak before you go to the game, or what kind of food do you guys get before you go to the game?
Like, going before a Phillies game, Rahul? Is that what you're asking?
Phillies game or any kind of game.
If I'm heading down to the ballpark, I'm typically going to bounce over to Chicky and Pete's on Packer Ave. I'll grab a bite to eat there and get some crab fries. It's a heck of a lot cheaper than it is in the stadium, and nowhere near as overly seasoned. That's kind of my go-to there. But if I'm exploring other areas, I like to hit up restaurants or small little holes in the wall before entering the stadium. And yeah, I don't like to eat in there. It's just can't afford it.
Yeah.
Like Raul, like you remember how we like go to games with Devin sometimes, like Phillies games or
Yeah.
Eagles games or whatever, or maybe Sixers games. We always go to Chickies and Peas sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, what do you like to do?
You know, if you're asking me where what I think that my favorite cheesesteak is, it's Jim's on South. I like to check out the food in the stadium. City Field for 2 years in a row was voted best ballpark food. So I like to check out the food they have in there. And like I said, every baseball stadium is different. So generally, I'm only going once or twice a year. So I'm expecting to spend the money, you know, the ridiculous amount of money that it costs to eat in the stadium, eat and drink. But if you had to, obviously, Philly is known for their cheesesteaks. New York is known for their hot dogs and sausages and Italian type food. So anything like that, I try to try what the city's known for, if that makes sense. You know, Chicago's known for their Italian beef. Milwaukee is known for their brats and cheese curds. So I try to embody the city that the stadium's in.
Do you like Tony Luke's?
I do, yeah. I mean, I like a cheesesteak in general. It's just if I had to pick one that's my favorite, it's Jim's on South.
Like Basil has a Tony Luke t-shirt on right now.
I see that, yeah.
But where did you get that from, Tony Luke's, or was it a gift from somebody?
I don't even remember. I have no idea.
I want to bounce off what Jeff said, and I will say that in my experience going from ballpark to ballpark, I will try their hot dogs. I've had a Fenway Frank, I've had a Chicago dog in Wrigley. That's always an experience. That's kind of like a rite of passage. Like I want to go out to Dodger Stadium and get a Dodger dog, you know, that kind of vibe. So I can understand spending a little bit of cash, but sometimes, man, you look at those prices and you just kind of you feel it right in the soul.
Yeah, if you're a season ticket holder and you're going to, you know, 40, 50 games a year, you're definitely, you want to pack your lunch. You don't want to eat there every time. And then, you know, too, tailgating is its own thing. Like every city is known for their tailgates. So if you get a chance to, obviously that's more of a football culture thing, but if you get a chance to experience the home team's tailgate rituals, that's always a cool thing to do too.
Out of all the tailgate you guys seen, which tailgate is more, which fan base tailgate is more fun to go to, Philadelphia or another team?
I mean, I haven't been to a ton of tailgates in other cities at this point, but Philadelphia is definitely known. I mean, they get their. The thing about it is the stadium and the workers there embrace it. So, you know, I've seen very few cities that open up their gates as early as Philadelphia does for their tailgates. So it's become, you know, part of the whole experience. And I've been at tailgates. I've gone to tailgates and not the game, you know, especially early in the year. You have people out there with like full smoker rigs, you know, an entire, you know, barbecue buffet, and all you got to do is walk by and they're waving you over for food. So Philly knows how to do it. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Jeff there. Like the one game, like I went to the Steelers and the Eagles game, got down there a little early. Kickoff was, I think, 4:00. My grandfather and I, we started walking around 2, and everybody was all jam packed, and you could smell the smokers, you could smell the grills, you know, everybody's playing cornhole. Like tailgating is just a great experience, probably across the board. I don't know if I could point fingers and say, oh, this city does it better. Everybody has their own spin to it, and it's always a good time. I would love to go up to Buffalo to experience the people trying to plow themselves through tables, though.
Yeah.
Buffalo might give Philly a run for its money as far as the tailgating department goes. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, Raul, we should honor the people that passed away last week and some who are in recovery from the plane crash that happened.
What do you guys think about the horrific scenes that happened last week with the plane crash and helicopter crash in DC and the plane crash in Cotman Avenue?
Yeah, what do you guys think about the tragedy that happened in Northeast Philadelphia with the plane crash?
I mean, what is there to like feel outside of, sadness for the people that lost their lives? Whether it was user error or operator error, or if there was a malfunction, lack of communication, like down in DC with the impact between the passenger plane and the helicopter, the Black Hawk. It's breakdown of communication, stuff like that. In the end, nobody wants to point fingers. Everybody does point fingers, but it's the loss of life and it's the tragedy itself that we should be respecting, not necessarily being angry or anything like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could echo what a lot of people are saying, and of course, my thoughts and empathy go out to the families. I think what I take away from this is, like Zach said, we're so quick to point fingers, and we need a villain to blame. I think it would benefit everyone if we just took a moment and just thought of the people that are mourning their family members. And just have some sympathy and empathy for them before we demand to know why. Sometimes things just happen. Sometimes someone just has a bad day at work. It just so happens if I have a bad day at work, no one dies. If an air traffic controller has a bad day at work, it could be disastrous. And I also feel for that person because what they're feeling right now has to be something that they're going to live with for the rest of their lives. And a lot of people want to make that person the enemy, where it wasn't nefarious what they did. It's just accidents do happen. So I think should take a beat and just think about the people that are feeling some type of way today.
Since Super Bowl is this Sunday, what are you guys looking forward to for the Super Bowl commercial or no?
I look forward to seeing who in the commercial. Post Malone again in a commercial, and my guess is former NFL players in the commercial. That too. That's my favorite kind of commercial. Raul, do you like that too?
Yeah.
What about you, Basil?
Troy Polamalu. He's usually in at least one.
Did Dominic McNabb do any commercials yet? Because I haven't noticed him do any yet.
I don't think so.
No, he hasn't.
Every once in a while he has one though, I think.
Yeah. I would love to see like Peyton Manning do a commercial again.
He's got plenty of them out there. I'm sure they got something in the works for the Mannings.
No doubt, probably all of them.
Yeah. I'm a huge movie nerd, specifically superhero movies. So DC, Marvel. I know Marvel is dropping 2 trailers. They thought it was going to be Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts, but the Fantastic Four trailer dropped yesterday. So I'm hoping for a Thunderbolts trailer, maybe a different cut of the Fantastic Four trailer. And there's usually one or two iconic, beer commercials that come out of it. Budweiser, held the king of commercials for that title for a while. So always looking for a good beer commercial.
Oh yeah.
For me, like I want something that's funny. Like I enjoy, good comedic relief, when we're dealing with such a serious game. Bouncing off what Jeff said with movies, like I'm excited. The trailer did just drop recently, but Jurassic Park Rebirth. Yeah. I'm curious if they're going to do a different cut of that. Really dive deeper, see a little bit more what they're planning on doing, because apparently it's going to be the first rated R Jurassic Park movie. So what that entails, I don't know. Any sports-based one, maybe the Watts and the Mannings might get into something. Who knows? You never know what to expect. But when you're paying umpteen $1 million for a 30-second spot, you got to hope that it's worth the money.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for the Super Bowl?
I'm thinking the same score it was for the Super Bowl back in 2018, maybe at 41-38. Same score. That's my prediction.
Well, I can't, being a Washington fan, I cannot bring myself to root for the Eagles. I have a lot of family members that are Eagles fans, so I will be happy for them if they win. But I got to go with KC. I want to see history be made. I want to see the three-peat. I'm rooting for the villain, Kansas City Chiefs. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think it's going to be like I think you're going to see some defense. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be like 21-20. Maybe comes down to a missed extra point by Jake Elliott. Who knows?
Well, we're hoping that Jake Elliott can pull this one off.
He seems to he kicked the field goals, but it seems like he's really struggling with the extra points. So I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a good Super Bowl, but I got the Chiefs coming out on top.
Yeah, Jake.
I think there's a chance the Eagles will beat the brakes off the Chiefs. They haven't beat a team by more than one score in like the past 2 years. So hopefully this is the time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I hope Jake Elliott is practicing on his kicking right now. I hope to goodness he is.
I'm sure he is, Bill.
I'm sure he is.
Hope he's prepared.
Yeah, they beat the Washington.
I think it's going to be like 28-25. Eagles will win. The defense will come out on top.
I don't have any skin in the fight. I'm an AFC guy, so I don't want to see the Chiefs, become the next, hyper power, supplanting the Patriots and all that jazz, because that was miserable as a Steelers fan for all those years, having to deal with Belichick and Brady, and now we got to deal with Reed and Mahomes. So I'd like to see the Eagles on top. I feel like the Eagles offense matches the Chiefs offense very well. I like the Eagles defense slightly better than the Chiefs defense, in my opinion, but it's going to be close. We're talking a 3-point spread, probably, I would say 27-24 kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And literally anything could happen.
Yeah, from what I heard, the Eagles defense is better than the Chiefs defense.
It is.
Yeah, and isn't our offense pretty good?
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, from
what I heard, the Chiefs offense is pretty good too.
Yes,
they have a pretty good quarterback. Yeah.
That's the only person we have to worry about is Patrick Mahomes, from what my dad said.
Well, I think with the Eagles, you from top to bottom roster wise, I think they have one of the best rosters in the league. You can't argue that. The Chiefs have the best quarterback in the league. You can't argue that, and it's a quarterback league. I think the coaching edge definitely goes to the Chiefs. You have Andy Reid and Spagnuolo are both scheme guys, and both put their players in unbelievable positions when it comes to winning. So it makes up for that difference in talent. Although Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio, to their own right, are very good coaches too. So it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it's really going to boil down to matchups and whoever makes the mistake first.
Yeah, it's going to come down to turnovers. Yeah, it really is.
If Hurts can protect the ball, then the Eagles have a better shot. He looked sloppy there the last few weeks, but why are you I get it. You have Devontae Smith, you've got AJ Brown, you got Goddard, you got talent there,
and
receivers, but Saquon, you run that guy until his legs fall off. You make them stop you, and then that's when they force you to become one-dimensional. That's the only way the Chiefs are going to win, is if they can stop Saquon and hold him to, say, less than 150, then they might have a shot. But if Saquon balls out like he has been, I don't see the Chiefs, coming back from a deficit very well.
Yeah, I think Saquon Barkley is definitely the key to win, probably.
Jeff and Zach, do you have a motivational quote for the listeners?
Yeah.
For the viewers?
Oh, wow. Put us on the spot. A motivational quote.
Little pressure.
Yeah. Well, I do have a favorite quote, and I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't know the exact quote. But Mark Cuban said something at a speech he gave at a high school, and it said, "Find something that you love to do and be great at it."
There you go. I'm going to go with an oldie but a goodie. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. You got to take that first step before you can get anything accomplished.
Very good one.
That's a good quote. Do you guys have anything to say to the viewers before we wrap things up?
Let's go Mets.
Oh, here we go, Phillies. Here we go.
Let's go, Birds. Unless you guys want to
Yeah.
sing the song.
I'm not singing the song.
Do I want to sing the song? No. Will I watch you sing the song? Sure.
Yeah, you guys go right ahead.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Fly,
Eagles,
Eagles, fly.
on the
On the
road
road to
to
victory.
victory.
Fight,
Fight,
Eagles, fight.
Score a
Or
touchdown.
touchdown,
1,
1, 2,
2,
1,
3.
2, 3.
Hit them low, hit them high, and watch our eagle fly. Fly, eagle,
Eagles,
fly.
fly.
On
On
the road to
victory.
victory. E-A-G-L-E-S.
Eagles.
I hope the offense is in more of a harmony than you guys just sang that song, because otherwise you're in trouble.
Seriously.
What Jeff and Zach, what do you guys think about Mayor Parker singing the Eagles song?
Mayor who?
Mayor Parker.
Is he
Exactly.
Philadelphia? Is he the mayor of Philadelphia?
She's the mayor of Philadelphia. Yeah.
Well, I would expect him to if he wants to get reelected.
She.
She
I
sang.
don't think she's getting reelected.
She spelled the Eagles chant wrong.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't see that. All right. Well, that's trouble. Yeah.
I actually heard about that.
I don't. Philadelphia is not the type of city to forgive that type of mistake.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. When Harper signed, and he had the media day where he made it slip like he was still with the Nats. I think we moved past that, considering his contributions and the way he has embraced the city. But mistakes happen. It is what it is. You get over it. Stop holding it over people's heads. People make
Wait,
mistakes.
what did
especially
Harper
under pressure.
do? I didn't get that. What did he do?
They misspelled the Eagles chant. It was like
What did Harper do?
Oh, Harper. So when he during the media press conference when he was first signed, for the 13-year, $330 million deal, he was sitting down in spring training and he said he wanted to bring a championship back to the Nats, and then he meant the Phils. It was a big whoops-a-doodle. But you know what? I will still take a bullet for that man in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I forgot.
Well, if the mayor goes out and hits 35 home runs and drives in 120, the city will forgive her too.
Yeah, I think so.
William, you want to do the closing statement?
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for listening to our episode tonight. Please be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And remember, click and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I'm sure many of you guys have heard about this, but I'm keeping the people's family and friends in our prayers to honor them, the ones that passed away and the ones that are in recovery right now from the plane crash that happened in Northeast Philadelphia. So my thoughts are to their families and friends.
Thank you guys for being on our show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Pleasure's all here.
Go Phillies and go Eagles.
Good luck to you guys.
Take care, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah,
guys.
Bye.
Have a good night. Tune in next week. Enjoy Super Bowl weekend.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Good stuff.